Hello friends, welcome to the world of project management and for a overview session on project communication management process, that is plan communication management. Motto of this training is to provide and to share my experience in preparing for the PMP certification, and I prepared few slides. Let's quickly move to our agenda for this session that we are going to discuss on what is plan communication management process and its ITTOs in more detail. That is inputs, tools and techniques, and outputs. Let's first start with its definition. It is the first process in the project communication management, and it is defined as the plan communication management is a process of developing an appropriate approach and plan for the project communication activities based on the information, needs of each stakeholder or group, available organization assets, and needs of the project. Hope you understood this definition. The key benefit of this process is that it is a documented approach to effectively and efficiently engage the stakeholders by presenting the relevant information in a timely manner. This is the key benefit of this process. Hope you understood about this definition and the key benefit. Let's quickly move to our next concept, that is ITTOs, that is inputs, tools and techniques, and outputs. In inputs, we have the project charter, the project management plan, which includes the resource management plan and the stakeholder engagement plan. And we have the project documents, which includes the requirement documentation, the stakeholder registered. And also inputs, we have the enterprise environmental factors, organizational process assets, that is EEFs and OPS. And coming to the tools and techniques, we have the expert judgment, the communication requirement analysis, communication technology, communication models, communication methods, interpersonal and team skills, which includes the communication style assessment, political awareness, cultural awareness, and we have the data representation technique, which includes the stakeholder engagement assessment matrix, and we have the meetings. And coming to the outputs, we have the communication management plan, which is the key output, and we have the project management plan updates, which includes the stakeholder engagement plan, and also we have the project document updates that includes the project schedule and the stakeholder register. Okay, fine. Let's discuss first with its inputs in more detail. In inputs, first we have the project charter. What is project charter? The project charter identifies the key stakeholders list. That is, it also contains the information about the roles and responsibilities of the stakeholder. Hope you understood about this first input. Let's move to the next input, the project management plan, which consists of the resource management plan and the stakeholder engagement plan. Let me explain one by one. The resource management plan provides a guidance on how the team resources will be categorized, allocated, managed, and released. And coming to the stakeholder engagement plan, it identifies the management strategies required to effectively engage the stakeholders, that is through the communications. Hope you understood about this input. Let's move to the next input, the project documents, which consisting of the requirement documentation and the stakeholder registered. Let me explain one by one. First, with requirement documentation. This requirement documentation can include the project stakeholder communications, and the stakeholder register is used to plan the communication activities with all the stakeholders. Hope you understood about this input. Let's move to the next input, enterprise environmental factors. Here, which includes in the EFs, it contains the organizational culture, political climate, and the governance and framework, personal administration policies. We have different stakeholder risk thresholds, and in this we have the established communication channels, tools and systems, and it includes the global, regional or local trends, practices or habits, and also it includes the geographical distribution of the facilities and resources. Okay, hope you understood about this input EF. Let's move to the next input, organizational process assets. In the organizational process assets, it includes the policies and procedures for the social media, ethics and security. It also includes the policies and procedures for the issues, risk, change and data management. It also includes the organizational communication requirements, and it also includes the standardized the guidelines for development, exchange, storage and retrieval of information, and also it includes the historical information and lessons learned repository, and also it includes the stakeholder and communication data and information from previous projects too. Okay, fine. Hope you understood about these inputs of the planned communication management. Let's move to the tools and techniques. We will discuss the first technique, that is the expert judgment. As I explained in my previous sessions, that the expertise should be considered from the individuals or groups with some specialized knowledge or training. Here the experts should be specialized in few areas such as the politics and the power structure in the organization, or the environment and the culture of the organization and other customer organizations, or it can be the organizational change management approach and practices, or it may be the organizational communication technologies, policies and procedures regarding the legal requirements and the securities, etc. Hope you understood about this first technique of the planned communication management. Let's move to the next technique, that is communication requirement analysis. Let me explain here. The analysis of the communication requirements determines the information needs of the project stakeholders. That is, these requirements are defined by combining the type and format of information needed with an analysis of the value of that information. And also, along with this, analyzes the value of the information, and also it considers a number of political communication channels or paths as an indicator of the complexity of the project communications. That is, we have the communications channels can be calculated using some formula as n into n minus 1 divided by 2, where the n equals the number of stakeholders. This formula is important in calculating the number of stakeholders in different scenario questions. Hope you understood about this technique of the planned communication management. Let's move to the next technique. We have the communication technology. In this, the methods used to transfer the information among the project stakeholders may vary significantly. And the common methods used for the information exchange and collaboration includes the conversations, meetings, written documents, databases, social media, and the websites. We have different factors that can affect the choice of communication technology. That is, first factor is the urgency of the need for information, second is availability and reliability of the technology, and third is ease of use, fourth is project environment, and last is sensitivity or confidentiality of the information. Let me explain in more detail one by one the methods. First, with urgency of the need of information. Means it includes the urgency, the frequency, and format of the information to be communicated may vary from project to project and areas. Moving to the next method, that is availability and reliability of the technology. Here, the technology that is required for distribution and project communication artifacts should be compatible, available, and accessible for all the stakeholders throughout the project. Coming to the next one, ease of use. It includes the choice of communication technologies should be suitable for project participants, and project trainings events should be planned wherever appropriate. Moving to the next one, project environment. It includes whether the team will meet and operate on face-to-face basis or in a virtual environment. And also it includes whether they will be located in one or multiple time zones. And also it includes whether they will use the multiple language for the communications. And finally, it also includes whether there are other project environmental factors such as the aspects of culture where may constrain the efficiency of the communications. Hope you understood this project environment. Going to the next one, sensitivity or confidentiality of the information. In this, it includes whether the information to be communicated is sensitive or confidential. Hope you understood these methods. Along with these factors that can affect the choice of communication technology, we have communication types. That is, we have the formal written, formal verbal, informal written and informal verbal. Let me explain when can these communication types used. The formal written can be used during the complex problems, project management plan, project chatter, communicating over the long distance. Next, formal verbal. It can be used in the presentations and the speeches. Informal written. It can be used in email, handwritten notes, text messages, instant messages. And coming to last, informal verbal. It can be used in meetings and conversations. Hope you understood about this technique of planned communication management. Let's move to the next technique. We have communication models. The communication model framed around three elements: sender, message and receiver. In this, we have two models basically, that is basic sender or receive communication model and interactive communication model. Let me explain these two models. First, with basic sender or receive communication model. In this, it describes the communication as a process consisting of the two parties, that is sender and receiver. Mainly, this model ensures that the message is delivered rather than understood, that is encode or transmit the message and the decode. That means the process is encoding, the transmitting the message and decoding. That's it. Coming to the next model, interactive communication model. It does recognize the sender and receiver as the two main parts here, but also it recognizes the need to ensure that the message has been understood or not. That is, the process is encoding, transmitting the message, acknowledging, decoding, and feedback and response. Hope you understood this process. And also along with this, we have another model communication, that is cross-cultural communication. That is, it depends on the sender's current emotional state, knowledge and background. It also depends on the personality, culture and biases. Just refer to the diagrammatic representation of these models. Hope you understood about this technique of the planned communication management. Let's move to the next technique, communication methods. There are several communication methods that are used to share the information among the project stakeholders. Mainly, these methods are broadly classified as follows: interactive communication, push communications and pull communications. Three important ones. First, with interactive communication. Interactive communication includes the face-to-face meetings, audio conferencing, video conferencing and telephone calls, and push communications, which includes the letters, memos, reports, emails, faxes, blogs, press releases. And coming to pull communications, which includes the web portals, intranet sites, e-learning, lessons learned databases, knowledge repositories. Hope you understood these three methods. Among with these, we have the different approaches should be applied to meet the needs of the major forms of the communication that is defined in the communication management plan. That includes the interpersonal communication, small group communication, public communication, mass communications, networks and social computing communication. These are the different approaches should be applied. Hope you understood about this technique of the planned communication management. Let's move to the next technique, interpersonal and team skills, which includes the communication style assessment, political awareness and cultural awareness. Let me explain one by one here. First, with communication style assessment. This technique is used to assess the communication styles and identify the preferred communication method, format and content for planned communications activities. Second is political awareness. The political awareness helps the project manager to plan the communications based on the project environment as well as the organizational political environment. Next, cultural awareness. The cultural awareness is an understanding of the differences between the individuals, groups and organizations and adapting the project communication strategy in the context of these differences. Hope you understood about this technique of the planned communication management. Let's move to the next technique, that is data representation, which includes stakeholder engagement assessment matrix. This stakeholder engagement assessment matrix shows the gaps between the current and desired engagement levels of the individual stakeholders. And also it can be further analyzed in this process to identify the additional communication requirements as a method to close any engagement level gaps. Hope you understood about this technique of the plan communication management. Let's move to the next technique, that is meetings. In these project meetings, it can include the virtual meetings or the face-to-face meetings, or can be supported with the document collaboration technologies, and also it can include the email messages and project websites. Hope you understood this technique. Here we complete the inputs and tools and techniques of the plan communication management. Let's move to its outputs. Let's explain the first output. We have the communication management plan, which is an important one. The communication management plan is a component of the project management plan that describes how the project communications will be planned, structured, implemented, and monitored for effectiveness. Mainly this plan includes the first, the stakeholder communication requirements, the information to be communicated, including the language, format, content, and levels of detail, and the escalation processes. And also it includes the person responsible for communicating the information and for authorizing the release of confidential information. And also it includes the person or groups who will receive the information, including information about their needs, requirements, and expectations. And also this communication management plan includes the methods or technologies used to convey the information, such as memos, emails, press releases, or social media. And also it includes the resources allocated for communication activities. That includes the time and budget also. And also finally it includes the flowcharts of the information flow in the project workflows with the possible sequence of authorization, list of reports, meeting plans, etc. Hope you understood about this first output, that is communication management plan. Next, let's move to the next output, project management plan updates. That it includes a stakeholder engagement plan. Let me explain. The stakeholder engagement plan is updated to reflect any processes, procedures, tools, or techniques that affect the engagement of stakeholders in project decisions and execution. Go to the next output, project document updates. That is the project schedule, the stakeholder registered. Let me explain these two things. First, with project schedule. The project schedule may be updated to reflect the communication activities. And coming to stakeholder register, the stakeholder register may be updated to reflect the communication plan. Okay, hope you understood about all the outputs of this plan communication management. Fine, we have completed all the tools and techniques and inputs and outputs of this plan communication management. This completes our first process on the project communication management knowledge area. Hope this complete session is easy and understandable. Fine, let's discuss more detail on the next process in the project communication management, that is manage communications, in the next video. Kindly provide your feedback on the given email ID and subscribe my channel if you like this video. Bye for now, it's Anil Kumar Dharam.